Welcome to another edition of This Week in Perfect Team, the show that provides immediate community feedback on all new content releases when they are not aligned with vacations of mine. Just had to add that disclaimer real quick here. Just real quick there. I'm your host, DRC. And if this is your first time joining us, go ahead, drop us a little follow, click the bell so you know when we go live, and know that Kidneys and I are about to tell you everything you need to know about all the cards that Chris just gifted us with. We'll tell you who the good ones are. We'll tell you who the not so good ones are. We'll tell you who the game-breaking ones are if we have one of those. So we are going to dig into all of that tonight and more in what is going to be a great show. With me, as always, is Ben, your Kidneys. How are we doing tonight, Ben?
I'm doing good. Pretty pumped up. We finally, if you weren't here last year, maybe you're new to the game, you're new to Perfect Team. I've been begging for an Andrelton Simmons card that represents how amazing of a player he is. So we finally got that tonight. I'm really excited about that. I can't wait to talk about that later. Yeah, so this is going to be a cool night. We finally are back to a 12 card content set. So DRC and I can take a big breath tonight as we do not have to rush out 30 to 90 cards in the night.
Don't lie, that was your favorite stream. That was your favorite one. I honestly believe, and I want to go to the videotape to prove it, but I believe there was a 3 or 4 second span where you actually fell asleep. Call me a liar if I'm wrong here, but I think that during that super long one, I think that maybe, just maybe, you snuck a Z in.
I certainly had a snack during it. I don't think I fell asleep. Maybe for a few seconds is definitely possible. I am a tired boy, so
nothing wrong with a micro nap. Salvador Dali swore by them. All right, so what do we have on tonight's show? So we are going to do the first half of our card rundown. We will go from cards 13 to 6, and tonight we are testing out a new way to unveil the cards. So who is old enough to remember the TV show called The Weakest Link? I know Ben is not old enough to remember that show. But the premise of that show was you had a collection of folks working together to answer trivia questions as a team. And at the end of each round, they had accrued a certain amount of money, but they had to say goodbye to one of their teammates. And so they voted as to who was the weakest link. And then they sent them on their merry way, and they were effectively ousted from the trivia group. And they have to do the walk of shame past the host, who was very British and very mean. And that's what we're going to do tonight to our Perfect Team cards. So we're going to start with number 13. Ben is going to get the first choice. So Kidneys is going to start with a blank slate and vote someone off our island. Proclaim someone to be the weakest link. And then we will talk about that card and why, and we will move on and on and on and on until there are no more cards to talk about. And we have found the strongest link. In the middle of it, we're going to play OK Boomer, OK Zoomer, which is everyone's favorite game show. And tonight's theme is music. So definitely stick around to see what that means and what that's all about. And then we'll finish things up with the second half. We'll do the top 5 for our weakest link set, and then wrap it up. Oh, and along the way, we're going to be playing, we're going to be having 2 different scavenger hunts. So if you're at your computer, have your typing fingers ready. If you're on your phone, be ready to multitask. But at 2 different times during the show, we will have a trivia question, and the first person to get it right in the chat will win 10,000 perfect points. We'll also do a random 10,000 perfect point giveaway at the end that I always forget to do. So, Kidneys, see if you can remind me to do that towards the end here. And then, of course,
last week?
I think we forgot 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we haven't been doing that. Have you just been keeping them for yourself?
I wish, but that would be quite the hustle. I should start keeping all of them. And then what is that? Oh, the multimedia moment. So we'll show you some video of one of the players tonight, and we'll have a good time doing it. So let's jump in. All right, so Ben, you have got a blank slate here. You can vote anyone you want off the island. You can proclaim anyone on this screen the weakest link. Who are you going to start with?
I think I got to start with the shiny boy, Dick McBride.
Oh, no. You're going Dick McBride right off the top, the limited
You
edition
are the
card?
weakest link.
Oh, let me throw an X up on him, and we'll move on to his card art here. Tell me why you have voted Dick McBride out of the trivia group.
Just a really, really weak showing from a pitcher. There's a lot of like Gold Future Legends with a very much better V left profile. The V right's not too terrible, but he's still going to walk a ton of guys. He's going to give up home runs. The stamina is good, but I think I am a very highly defensive oriented person, and there are a lot of good defensive cards in this set. So I am out on Dick McBride.
Out on Dick McBride. Now, because this content set is more manageable, I was able to get back into the practice of looking up some fun facts about each player. Here's what I've got about Dick McBride. Now, Dick McBride was a total throwback. Look at the year on this card, 1874. I don't know for a fact, but this could be the oldest card that we have in the card set. And he finished his playing days actually in 1875 when he relinquished his player-manager responsibilities to none other than Cap Anson. But in 1864, you guys are going to love this. In 1864, while he was serving in the Union Army during the Civil freaking War, he was granted a special 3-day furlough so that he could go play in a series of exhibitions between the local Philadelphia team and the Brooklyn teams, because the Brooklyn teams were overpowered and they really needed that Philly talent in Dick McBride to try to win. And turns out that Brooklyn still smoked them and Dick McBride wasn't able to help out. But a total throwback here with Dick McBride. We move on. So Kidneys, you get to pick again. We had an odd number. So you get 2 picks off the jump, and then I'll get my first pick next. Who do you pick here next? You've got 12 cards to choose from, 12 defensive wonders. Who are you going to proclaim the weakest link of the remaining cards?
Wait, me again?
It's you again, my man.
Oh. I am going to eliminate... I think a lot of chat really liked this card, and there was a lot of question marks when it came up. So I will eliminate Omar Vizquel.
Ooh,
you are the weakest link.
Omar Vizquel goes down. He gets the X adorned to his card art there. We move on to his backup card ratings. Before I let you talk about why you're pumping him out here, let me tell you that Omar Vizquel was a very slick fielding shortstop to the surprise of no one. 11 gold gloves, including, get this, 9 consecutive gold gloves at the shortstop position from 1993 to 2001. He is the all-time leader in fielding percentage at the position. That could be driving this 115 error we see on our screen here. And he is also one of only 29 players in the history of baseball to play in 4 different decades, and the only one who did so as a shortstop. So why are you voting Vizquel out at this point?
There's really just one number on the card that speaks everything to me, and it's 78 range. He's not going to do a lot with that. The hitting profile is pretty neutral. It's not bad, little left-handed leaning or V left leaning. Base running's not bad. Other defensive stats are good, but you can't come at me and say 78 range is going to make a good shortstop. So that is the weakest link on the board here. Yeah, I agree. Shame it wasn't a low diamond. Maybe you would have a place there in a low diamond tournament, but yeah, that's Omar Vizquel.
Is this kind of Tony Fernandez-y in terms of shortstop defense? I think stronger TDP, stronger error, but kind of Tony Fernandez-y.
I think their range is the same, if I recall correctly, yes. And my Tony Fernandez at second base is like absolutely killing my pitching this year. So not a fan.
And Tony Fernandez is a much better hitter and also can play multiple positions. So he is just going to be a better card than this Omar Vizquel. All right, we move on, and it is now my first turn. And as I weighed my options here, I ended up landing on someone who was featured heavily in Kerry Wood's 20 strikeout game, and that is Billy Spiers, also known as Billy Spears. And he gets the X. So Billy Spires is gone. Here's what I don't like about Billy Spires. I don't like that he's a diamond card who's bringing next to no contact to the table. We're down at 69 VL, 79 VR. So even though we're going to have a nice little BABIP on this card, shout out to BABIP. You know, we're not going to have any power. We've got a little bit of eye here, but it's going to strike out way more than I want. And the quality of contact is not going to be what I'd hope for out of a low diamond card. And then defensively, while yes, you could play him at shortstop because he's got a stock shortstop defense, and yes, you could play him at first, the defense would be too bad for shortstop, and the bat's too bad for first. So this card doesn't play for me, this Billy Spires card. No, thank you. What do you have to say about it?
How did we go all this time, and I just now noticed you spelled BABIP wrong on the emote in your channel?
What?
It's BABIP.
How's it spelled?
It's 3 B's. E.
No, it's a P.
Yes, it is.
Batting average on balls in play, not batting average on balls in play.
Right, but yours is batting average on balls in play.
No.
On the code for the emote, it is.
No, really?
Because I type in emotes manually, and I just realized. What?
The emote code is wrong. It's Babib now.
Can we get a professional in here?
Who is that stopping? Who is not finding Babib? When they want to emote, they will find it.
I guess. Billy Spears, I mean, he's got really good third base defense, like really, really good third base defense. But the bat just isn't there. I mean, my mother hits left-handed pitching better, and she's half blind. V right, you know, it's respectable. It's going to have the high BABIP, and maybe a decent on base percentage, but not going to hold up at high level. Like low diamond third base. I'm not really. I don't really know the meta for low diamond. Chat can tell me. Somebody else is better, but because of the defense, he might be an option.
Yep. So Billy Spires, fun fact here: drafted in the first round in 1987, he had a long career as primarily a third baseman. But little known fact, fun fact, if you will, he was a two-sport star at Clemson. For 10,000 perfect points. What football position did he play for the Clemson Tigers? First person in the chat gets it. Oh, there it is. Hero Driver 68 nailed it. Hero Driver 68 is the first one I have. Hold your answers. He was a punter. Punter at Clemson, two-sport star. If you can call a baseball player playing third base and a football player playing punter a two-sport star. But Hero Driver 68, you are the winner of the 10,000 perfect point scavenger hunt. So please DM me on the Discord with your perfect team username, and we will send on those perfect points at the very next opportunity. I love all of the spamming of just random positions. I'm going to get lucky. Safety, corner, wide receiver, linebacker. All right, we move on. And the onus is back on Kidneys. It is your turn to pick who is the next weakest link.
So just first, cards are in packs. If you pull Andrelton Simmons, I would appreciate a DM. That is my card. That's the card I've wanted for so long. I don't have a lot, but if you want to work something out, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. So I'm just going to throw that out there. Sell you for $1 million? Yeah, that's a little bit out of my price range, buddy. However, the next weakest link is going to hurt me a little bit to do this one because he's been so good the past 2 years. It's going to be Luis Aparicio, man.
Ooh, Luis Aparicio. He gets to wear the X. We check out the card art. Why are you dumping on one of your favorite cards?
I don't think the Bat VL is good enough for the card to be worse defensively than... I think Trammell and no, not Trammell, but worse defensively than Rizzuto. I think Rizzuto is just a better V left hitter. So I would take Rizzuto for this card. Not 10 friends and realized this while evaluating this card. While I saw it on Chris's stream. This is going to be a low diamond shortstop option. So I think he's a little bit better than we have him rated here. But as for now, I will be calling Louis the weakest link.
Ooh. Hurtful. Let's talk about fun facts about Luis Aparicio here. He is the first Venezuelan-born player elected to the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. And Ted Williams, you ever heard of him, Kidneys?
No, never.
Ted Williams said that Luis Aparicio was the best shortstop that he ever saw play the game of baseball. Very high praise for Aparicio there. We move on, and it is my turn back at the selector. Who do I want to go with here? I think I'm going to do something that's going to hurt you personally, Ben. And I'm going to vote off Kevin Youkilis. Youkilis gets the X. We move on, and here's my issue. It's a first base card, and I really want a huge bat at first base. And we're still talking diamond cards here, guys. We're still talking diamond. You don't live in diamond at 80 contact. So yeah, even though the Greek god of walking is going to walk a ton, this is a first base only card, third base if you want to play roulette with your defense. And I just don't know that the reward's going to be there for you. The BABIP isn't going to be too strong either side here. Not going to be a problem, but not going to be too strong either side. So this Youkilis card didn't do it for me. There's going to be other diamond options that I like more at the position.
I just completely disagree. I think 85 contact is more than enough this year. This card is going to demolish left-handed pitching, and it's going to play some of the best defense at first base in the game doing it, and he's not even a bad bat versus right. Joe Kelly is rocking like 86, 88 contact right now. It's one of the best hitters. It is absolutely ridiculous. I was crying a little inside when you cutting him off here. So there's a lot of people right now in chat agree with me that this is maybe the best first baseman for low diamond.
Well, luckily, OK Boomer, OK Zoomer is not voted on in terms of our opinions on the cards, but rather your inability to argue for your 90s topics.
Oof.
Cold facts there. Let me call out Gravestock23 in the chat. Used his Amazon Prime account for a free subscription. Thank you for the support there. Anyone else can do the same. We've also had a little bit of love so far in the chat here. Other subscribers that are too high now that I can't see who they were. In addition to look at you. Kidney's getting in on the bits in the channel. Thanks, man.
Hello.
Walnut, Death Deal. So I really appreciate all of the support. And are you sure that's on my end, Kidneys? You turned into robot Kidneys.
100%, because you keep going robot. Actually, you would go robot for them. So if DRC is not going robot, maybe it's my end. My internet's normally great. It's a little weird.
I've always thought that you were a robot, and tonight I feel like we're finally having this confirmed.
Can we get some Mr. Destructoids in the chat? Oh, we are using Discord, Chris. Is Discord like not doing good right now?
I think Taicho's on it. DRC is perfect in every way.
Yikes. Is that your alt account there? No, I know Taicho. Taicho's a good guy.
All right, Kidneys. You are back on the clock, so to speak. Who is the weakest link of our remaining cards?
The next weakest link is going to be Darth Vader.
Uh-oh.
Hurts me to do it.
There goes Veda Pinson.
I am a huge Star Wars nerd, if you didn't know. Absolutely can't get enough of Star Wars. This card just needs a little bit more range, and it'd be so good. Reminds me a lot of the Roberto Clemente face of the franchise card, where he's just gonna gun people out. The problem is, in Out of the Park, it doesn't really matter too much if you don't get to the ball in time. And while his V right bat is very, very good, the V left is not there. So we're looking at a one-way platoon option that like sort of barely plays the outfield. And I know there's a lot of people who are going around going, oh, I play worse defenders in the outfield. Once this game starts ramping up in the competition and we start seeing really serious teams pumped out there, it's not going to hold. In my Diamond League, and it's probably one of the weaker Diamond Leagues I've been in, but I switched to a lot of the Build a Legend players, and because of that, like playing like a guy with like 50, 60 range in the outfield, they're like negative 10 ZR at this point through the season. So I am not sold on this card at all, which is a shame because it's got a really nice VR bat, but I just don't think it plays defense.
I mean, even in right field, I know 70 range is pushing it, but you got a crazy arm here. The error we can kind of hand wave away. But a big bat like this and a right field profile there. And one thing I'll say before I let you respond to that is just that this was a pretty fire content set. So, we kind of got to a point where we're having to usher away some pretty good and interesting cards. So this is absolutely not a bad card. This is a very good and interesting diamond bat versus right-hand pitching. And, I think we're nitpicking a bit on the range here. We've got stock in all three defensive positions, and it really just boils down to that 70.
So I got Space Pope, who's a really cool dude, does a lot of math stuff in chat, saying he's not sure range is the most important in right field. When I did my numbers, I had range coming about still double as important as air and arm, and it didn't matter right field versus left field. So I know we're used to this like a right field pro because of how the game works, or not the game, but how like baseball itself works. But I'm not convinced that it works the same way in out of the park as it does in real life. So
Kidneys, are you a podcast guy? You listen to podcasts?
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, for those of you out there that do, there's the feature on there in whatever podcast app you use to speed up the podcast. These podcasts are cut at hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes, and you want to get them in a whole lot quicker than that. And so you can choose to make it go, 1.1 speed, 1.2 speed. And when you go Robot Kidneys and then your voice catches up, it reminds me of listening to podcasts at like 1.5 speed. And I wonder if This Week in Perfect Team wouldn't be best consumed at about 1.5 speed.
I can go reset my internet if you want to stall for like a minute.
No, I think we're good. I think people are loving their new Robot Kidneys.
I could use some robotic kidneys. I think a lot of us probably could.
All right, so we move on from Veda Pinson, and that's our halfway point. Give me a little dance, Kidneys. That's not much of a dance. That looks like someone proclaiming an early victory.
I am. I could do what one of my middle school kids did when I was a youth group leader and just do jumping jacks when we tried to get them to dance. I don't think it really worked.
Jumping jacks are rhythmic movement. We'll call that dancing.
I don't call it dancing.
Further proof that Kidneys is a robot. JZ13 right on top of it. Okay, so the way that OK Boomer, OK Zoomer works, if you are new here, is that I will be defending the honor of the decade of the 90s, whereas Kidneys will be arguing for something in the modern era. And tonight, the category is music. And we are going to be comparing two of our favorite bands. The band that I bring to bear today is none other than Matchbox 20, whereas Kidneys is bringing 21 Pilots. So Matchbox 20 versus 21 Pilots. I don't know that 21 is greater than 20 in this case, but you guys will decide. So Kidneys, you are my guest. You get to choose whether you go first or second. What do you choose?
I'm going to let you go first because I'm actually only going to go once this time around. So I will let you sandwich me. I will give you all the advantage you can take.
Wow. Amazing. Okay, so let's first talk about Matchbox 20. So yes, they may be my favorite band. Yes, I might have played that CD so much that it would no longer function and had to buy a replacement copy, but it was also a 12-time platinum, their most famous album, the Yourself or Someone Like You. Every song on that thing was a gem. I think we're talking 5-6 singles that made it to the top list. And you know what? The encore albums that came after it, they were not too shabby either. So successful, they were the launch point for Rob Thomas having his own solo career. So Matchbox 20, just solid band through and through. You pop the CD in back when popping a CD in was something that you would do, and you just listen to that thing straight through, throw it on the shuffle, do whatever you need, because no matter what song you landed on, you were going to be happy that you were there. All right, Kidneys, tell me about 21 Pilots.
So 21 Pilots, I think most of you old people might know as an edgy Zoomer band related to modern emo kids. And I'm going to just talk a bit about them because they're the band that self-dubbed themselves Ukulele Screamo. And they are probably, I've been to a lot of concerts so far in my life, a lot of really good concerts, and they absolutely blew me away compared to everybody else. They have such a technical prowess with instruments and a really creative lyrics. I listened to Matchbox 20 when DRC brought them up. It is about as generic gets for me. It really is. I am somebody that believes that lyrics are like the essence of music and that creative wordplay, and so I'm a really big like rap guy as well. But I think if you want to give some modern music a shot, and they are very different than a lot of other music, but I'm a big alternative guy as well. I think 21 Pilots offers a really cool and unique aspect to some modern music. I know we got another slide, so you can bring that up. They are also total clowns and really great people that do a lot of awesome charity work. This is them accepting the Grammy they won in their underwear, because the story behind it is when they first started the band, they were watching their Grammys in their underwear in college, and they said, if we ever win a Grammy someday, we're going to accept it just like we are now. And so I just think they're really cool people. They do a lot of really cool work. The music is super, super cool. And I know they have a reputation of not being popular, but their new album, coincidentally, I have merch on for it. I'm going to plug the merch. Their new album comes out tonight at midnight. And so I personally am super, super excited. And I know most of you know Stressed Out, Heathens, but that's like the worst of their work. They got some really cool stuff.
So whenever we do this segment, I am oftentimes sent to do some research because whatever Zoomer garbage you have brought to me, I've never heard of before. And this was no exception. I had never heard of 21 Pilots, so I was sent to YouTube. I picked their most famous song because I figured that, that was their best foot forward. I should give it a try. And I am sad to admit that I found myself in a YouTube vortex and listened to about 10 or 11 songs straight. They were great. 21 Pilots was great. I loved it. So I have found myself a new band that I appreciate listening to. I'm not a huge music guy, and judging by the hate in the chat here for Matchbox 20, maybe I shouldn't be. But 21 Pilots was great. The worst thing I can say about them is that they went up on the biggest stage to accept their biggest honor of their life, and they wore boxer briefs. And that's not a great look on anyone. But Matchbox 20's better. I'm not ready to jump ship, but 21 Pilots, I can't say a negative word about them. So that's that. I see that there's a movement in the chat trying to encourage abstaining from the vote. I see that there are others that are questioning all life choices and their previous support of this stream because of my musical choices here and Kidney's inclusion of 21 Pilots. But it is time to vote. Who argued their side of the argument better? Matchbox 20 and DRC, or 21 Pilots and Kidneys? We're at the halfway point, and this is the closest vote that we have had. It is low sample size. All those abstainers out there, they could flip this thing if they wanted to. They could flip it. I don't know that they will.
I was also going to say, if 21 Pilots is not your thing, I listen to a lot of music. I'm always the guy who takes the aux cord, and I got some cool Zoomer recommendations if you want some newer music. So hit me up on Discord.
Yeah, we need to get that Kidney's aux list. See what you got. See what kind of fire.
I can tell you how often I blast music in his car that he hates. So,
all right. And what is our closest vote that we've had to date? We have Kidney's 53% besting DRC's 47%. Congratulations, you've won one that could be our most polarizing vote yet. I think if we had a vote category of abstain up on there, that might have won as well. So
it won for sure. People are so picky about music, and I mean, I'm one of them too, so I get it.
This has been OK Boomer, OK Zoomer. Congrats to Kidneys, and best of luck next time. Give me a victory dance.
People, by the way, in chat saying that Nirvana is the band that was intended to be the most cliche band just means you have bad music taste. Sorry, that's terrible.
Oh boy, don't say something you regret now, Kidneys.
Oh, I'm not. I'm taking my stand. I'm planting my flag.
Don't say something you regret. Okay, so where are we at now? Let's recalibrate. We need to get this thing back on the rails, and we've got 6 cards left, and we need to eliminate one. I am calling right here and right now Jimmy Pearsall to the carpet because he is the weakest of the remaining links Let's check out his card art here. We've got a center fielder. We do have a little bit of range here, 83, but it's center field only. And 83 is not as high as 84 or 85 or 86 or 90 or 95 or 100. And when we're talking about center field defense, range typically reigns supreme. The bat here is not bad. We got a really nice BABIP profile here. But when weighing all of my options here, I had to say goodbye to Jimmy Pearsall.
How did this card make it this far?
Well, it's because he's a zany character. Let me tell you the fun fact about him. So, Jimmy Pearsall was a very colorful character, and that is probably the understatement of the show so far. He was known for a lot of things. He was known for on-field outbursts that would lead to frequent ejections. I think there was a 6-game span one time where he was ejected 4 times. So Jimmy Pearsall found ways to get himself removed from many games. He was also known for, when playing in Yankee Stadium, he would go talk to Babe Ruth. He would go talk to Babe Ruth in Monument Park, right beyond the center field fence. My favorite anecdote about him is that when he hit his 100th home run, and look at his card here, this guy was not a home run hitter. This guy getting to 100 home runs was an achievement. He ran the bases backwards. I don't mean that he went to third first. I mean that he literally ran backwards. He moonwalked the bases all the way around for his 100th home run. So this guy was an absolute character, and I think that on that character clause, that's what's kept him in this game so far.
It's actually a really interesting movie and a book written about Pearsall, as he was one of the first major public figures to be diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And so there's some really, really cool stuff about him if you want to look him up. He did all sorts of crazy shenanigans, and actually I think he had to retire early from it, but he was a fantastic defender. He's not consistently, but in Perfect Team 20, one of the best gold cards available out there. So he hits pretty well. The defense just needs to be a little bit better for him to be good, but he's very close. I think Catch is in the chat saying he actually likes him quite a bit for gold tournaments, and I think that's why we have the card so highly. So
perfect. So that's Jimmy Pearsall. Let's refresh our board, and we are getting down to the nitty gritty. Who goes next?
Well, that would be Elliot Maddox.
Ooh.
You are the weakest link. You are, I guess, the worst Maddox? There's a lot of Maddoxes that play baseball.
Mike Maddox? Is Mike Maddox better than this?
Mike Maddox is really good, I think. Yeah. This card's okay. It's pretty similar to the Pearsall, just in my opinion. It's a weak side platoon, and I'm not a big fan of playing a lot of weak side platoons, especially right now with how the metagame's developed, right? Everybody is complaining about the catcher still around. You're all wrong. That catcher has a fantastic bat. We'll get to talk about him later.
That catcher slaps, baby.
That catcher does slap. That catcher's great. You've got really good defense. I hope the card trains up in right field because you could use him as a low level as a left-handed substitute. And yes, I know we don't care about the bat, but I think the bat actually makes up for some of the defense on the card. It's very good. So,
goodbye, Elliot Maddox. But before you go, let's learn a little something about you. So he played for the Tigers, Rangers, Yankees, Mets, and the Washington Senators. And on the very last day of the 1971 season, the last season of the Washington Senators, he was the final player to drive in an RBI, to drive in the final run in Washington Senators history. So he'll always be known for that little fun factoid. We move on. So you take Elliot Maddox. Now we are really down to the nitty-gritty here. I definitely don't want to take Johnny Bassler because then that's giving the people what they want. But I'm going to take Johnny Bassler. So sorry, Johnny. It's time for you to go. You probably overstayed your welcome. But we've got a gold catcher here who really hits. And doesn't just hit. He's going to walk a ton, too. So I love what I'm seeing here. We've got enough gap power to be interesting. We've got a huge eye. We've got someone who's never going to strike out. And we're talking about a gold catcher. And yeah, catcher ability is not great. It's not great, and everyone's a catcher snob, and that's become the cool thing to be. But I love me a catcher who can be out there and drive a huge on-base percentage, a huge batting average, and that's what you have here in Johnny Bassler.
Yeah, absolutely. Very Johnny Evers like profile from last year. I love this card. This card's going to absolutely mash the ball. Yes, he is not the greatest glove, but 70 catcher ability I think is more than respectable enough to see some play. Um, so I think despite our catcher ability snob chat, and rightfully so, as we have kind of efforted them this way, and I know Yuka's efforted people that way as well. Um, I think this card is really good. If I had a budget team, I would for sure pick this card up and probably play him over Kabert Ruiz. So I think he's great, and I am very interested to see how he hits.
Shout out to Base Bill 33 in the chat. 6 months subscribed here to the channel. Thanks for being with us for a half a year. May you join us for another half a year as well. So fun fact on Johnny Bassler here. Okay, this is my longest winded one, so prepare yourself here. But he was an incredible hitter, and he was a hitter that actually learned directly from Ty Cobb. It is said that Ty Cobb's influence on him is what made him the hitter that he was today. Direct impact. But he may have been even more incredible than the incredible hitter that he was off the field. So after baseball, he took up a number of unique passions. He would hook rugs. He was literally a rug maker. He would hook rugs by recycling old silk stockings. So he would get silk stockings from a scrap area, wherever silk stockings are discarded, and he would make rugs out of them. He would also scavenge for building materials that he would use to eventually build his home on his 48-acre Malibu property that he purchased. And he purchased it at a time where that wasn't an expensive thing an expensive endeavor. He got tile scrap from a nearby tile company. He got lumber from the demolition of the Venice Beach Pier. He even went as far as to get a studio job with 20th Century Fox as a means to gain access to set pieces that were going to be thrown away. And those set pieces ended up playing prominent roles in the house that he ended up building for himself, including his front door and his back door, both being doors from well-known movies. So a very unique person, someone who clearly very useful with his hands, very capable in terms of producing product, producing things. So Johnny Bassler. Try getting that out of your head now. All right, whose turn is it next? Did I take Bassler? I think I did. Yep, your turn here. No way you're taking a Red Sox because you're a Red Sox fanboy. So where are you going here?
See, the problem is there's some really good cards that came out tonight. This content set was awesome. Shout out to Chris for that. But I do have to do it to my boy Mookie Betts. Anybody who knows me knows how big of a Mookie Betts fan I am. But compared to the cards we got left, just not as strong right now. But he is the weakest link. But he is a strong weak link at that.
So Kidneys, one of the hallmarks of the show, and I know you've never seen it, but one of the hallmarks of the show was this little British lady proclaiming someone to be the weakest link and then saying goodbye to them in a harsh tone. Can we get you to try that and say that to your love, Mookie Betts? Say, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. You don't have to. If you can't do it, you can't do it. If you can't do it, you can't do it.
I don't have a British accent, sir.
All right. Well, I'll spare you. I don't want to hurt you.
You just link. Goodbye, sir.
All right. That sounded sad. All right. So now we're looking at the Mookie Betts card here. An elite defender in right field, and it's not some elite right fielder driven by a bunch of error and a bunch of arm. This is an elite right fielder driven by a ton of range, and it's coming with stock defense in center field. This kind of reminds me of the Gerald Williams card in bronze last year, and that's probably a stretch of a comp here. But Gerald Williams was one of the best defenders in that format in right field, and in center field he could back up your main. And so there's a ton of utility in being able to play both sides there, at least in turning formats when we're seeing the fatigue monster be as gruesome as it is. Now, it is a short side platoon bat, meaning he's going to be better versus left-hand pitching than he is versus right-hand pitching, as you see a pretty good spread here between the avoid K on each side, between the I on each side. Actually has more power on the right-hand side, which actually only hurts the BABIP, so that might not necessarily be a good thing. But what else do you see on this Mookie Betts card?
Um, I I think you pretty much nailed it all. Really, the thing to talk about with this card is the elite defense. The defense is so good. Also, shout out to my face being frozen when I yawned. That was pretty great. Um, but it's got a pretty solid V left bat. The V right bat is not really great, but the defense is so good that I feel like the card's probably going to see some play in gold tournaments. Not that's like a great option, but it's a pretty solid card. And the theme of tonight's defense, so I think it's a pretty great defensive option.
Yeah, I like the card. I mean, we're very late into this game. I think this is a great card. I think you can play this card. Pidge, I call it a short side platoon just because it's a right-handed batter better versus left side. This could be an everyday player for you. All right, let's move on from Mookie.
People are saying gold tournaments are mainly left-handed pitchers, actually.
Ooh,
right now.
So if it's all lefties,
so that actually makes it pretty good. So he's strong side in gold. Interesting.
Absolutely.
Take notes, people playing in the Gold Masters tournament. I don't know if it's probably different in cap, but
absolutely, yeah, that's good to know. That's a good fact. I know bronze was that way for a good bit of time. It kind of shifted back once we had the live card update, but still looking at 40+% in bronze, and it sounds like gold is very left-handed. And with the Burley card, not Burley, the Keuchel card, which who knows when that's going to be eliminated, it might only get more so. All right, so next, I am up. Did I miss a fun fact in there? Mookie Betts, first player in Major League Baseball history to win MVP, Silver Slugger, Gold Glove, batting title, and World Series in the same season. So naturally, the Sox traded him.
That's the Babe Ruth trade over again. I can't believe we did that. So the only baseball player to ever bowl a 300 at the World Bowling Championship or whatever it's called.
PBA?
He's a crazy good bowler. I don't remember, but he is unbelievable bowler. Yeah, perfect game in the PBA. Yeah. World Series of Bowling. There it is. Thanks, Stinkins.
All right, so 3 cards left. The choice is on me, and I'm going to go ahead and knock out Dallas Keuchel now, another gold lefty starter, and I really like this card. I really like this card a lot. It's that low, medium high build that we've seen work in formats so far this game. Maybe you'd ideally trade a little movement for control, get more movement in lieu of more control, but I still think that this is a card that's going to play, and it's going to play well. It's a lefty who's actually better versus right-handed batters when it comes to the stuff department, slightly worse in the movement and control, but definitely very viable here with Dallas Keuchel. What do you think of this card?
Of the Keuchel, this is an amazing card. Dream ground ball, high stamina, really good distribution of stats. This card is going to dominate gold, and I'm sure is going to be probably super overpriced with gold cap being a thing, because I don't know how you don't run this card on your team. This card is nuts.
So Robot Kidneys just a couple seconds ago really looked like he was taking a nap. It's a little micro nap there, but then quickly the voice caught up.
Yeah, I like blink and it freezes and I look like I'm passed out. So
we don't miss any words you say. It's just we get them delayed and we get them rushed. It's not bad.
You get them regurgitated at twice speed. Yep.
All right, so that is Dallas Keuchel. Real quick here. So Dallas Keuchel became the 3rd Astro to win the Cy Young Award for 10,000 perfect points. Who were the 2 that came before him? So Astros Cy Young Award winners, who are the 2 that came before him? First person in the chat with both gets 10,000 perfect point added to their account. Let me make sure I have the right guys here. Yep. And let's see who's got it in the chat. Well, I think we got someone early. Pidge. Did anyone beat Pidge? Looks like no.
Definitely Pidge.
Pidge. Oh, boy. Pidge is our winner. Pidge, DM me, and you got 10,000 perfect points coming your way. Congratulations to you. We had Grish70 right behind him with Scott and Ryan. We also had Pete Nice, 14, just missing out. Stinkins on it. Quiz Kid had Scott, but did not have Nolan Ryan. Oh, wait a minute. I think I just said the wrong answer. Wait a tick. It's not Nolan Ryan. It's Mike Scott and Roger Clemens.
Oh.
plot twist? Does anyone have
That
Mike
was
Scott,
Beck
Roger
Dog.
Clemens?
Beck Dog on my screen.
There it is. Beck Dogs has it first. Man, we really need to get a professional in here tonight. We got Robot Kidneys. You got me giving away points to the wrong guy. Sorry, Pidge. But Beck Dog, congrats.
Wow, Ryan never won a Cy Young? Really?
He didn't win it for the Astros.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know if he won it
He
anywhere else.
Never won one.
Dogberry's saying that. I mean, Nolan Ryan was like a no-hitter guy, right? Strikeout guy. He also walked a ton of people. All right, so congratulations to Beck Dog. Sorry for the confusion there. We'll get a professional in here.
Also, Minerva has a great point. Keuchel is third, but there was a fourth recently, which is Justin Verlander for the Astros.
That is correct. So at the time, Keuchel was the third. Verlander has then come on since him and making it 4. All right, so we are down to the final 2. Kidneys, you get to decide the winner, effectively. You are going to eliminate one card, thus elevating the other to be the champion. It is Bill Dickey. It is Andrelton Simmons. You have the weight of the world upon your shoulders. Who is the weakest link of these two?
I am an unbiased judge, a very fair person.
I've always said that about you. Always said that.
I am a Red Sox fan, but I would never let that sway my decision when I vote Bill Dickey out of here.
Oh no!
Get out!
No! You got rid of the McCarver killer? No! Unbelievable! How are you doing this? How are you going to sleep tonight?
I'm gonna sleep. Well, I don't really sleep at night. I'll sleep like a baby whenever I do sleep. That's for sure.
Oh wow! Unbelievable! This Bill Dickey coming in at 106 catcher ability and with a very blue versus right-hand pitching bat. But I will say, do pay close attention to the shape of this. So it's all blue, so it all looks good, right? But we've got a really huge avoid K. We've got a big-time power at 98, and the lowest of the 3 of the critical factors here is contact at 91. So we could have some Yogi Berraian BABIP problems, similar to what we had last year with Yogi, but Bill's going to walk plenty, and are you really buying him for his bat? You're not. You're getting him for his glove. So definitely going to be a highly sought-after card. I think the first Bill Dickey that gets pulled likely sells for a very high sum of money and is one that people are in buy and sell saying WTB : Bill Dickey as everyone's looking to get their hands on the meta catcher.
Yeah, I mean, blue numbers go burr. Is a very good card here. I will personally not be waiting to buy one, as I will probably pick up a McCarver when he tanks in price. Unfortunately, I like McCarver.
So let me ask you this: so McCarver's going to have a better BABIP versus right for sure.
Mm-hmm.
McCarver is 1 less on the catcher ability. What is the arm delta between the two? Is it 80 and 80?
It is exactly the same.
Okay, so you get to choose McCarver or Dickey. Who does Kidneys choose in a vacuum? You can pick one. Both of them are free, but you only get to pick one.
Oh, I'd pick Dickey. I think he's got too many bigger numbers over McCarver. He's also going to walk a ton more, 20 more points. I get the on base up. The only thing really McCarver has on him is base running. Is definitely better for McCarver. So
very good. So Bill Dickey is out, which means Andrelton Simmons has officially won Perfect Team Weakest Link. He is the best card that we've got tonight, at least via this very tainted process in which Ben editorialized and forced his way to the top. And what better way to enjoy some Andrelton Simmons than see a video of some of the plays that he made at the position? And that's what tonight's multimedia moment is. Look at that. Now, I've played shortstop. That spin, the spin on a ball hit to you like that is impossible. You have no idea how hard it's going to break to your right, and he played it so perfectly.
This is unbelievable.
What a lot of people don't also know about Simba too is he is one of the hardest throwing shortstops in baseball.
Look at that arm.
Not only does he do stuff like that, look at the arm. That is a perfect throw to first base on a hop. That's what people think Derek Jeter can do, but it's about twice the range of Jeter. So
look at this run. Oh, baby.
What a catch.
Now, if only he could do backflips, maybe then people would consider him the greatest shortstop of all time.
Oh, Kidneys with his anti-wizard hot takes coming. I knew they would come at this time of the stream. I knew it.
They've got the runner at first picked off.
This guy's absolutely unreal.
Look
at that tag. I mean, he's no Javi Baez with the tag, but that was a nice tag.
Breaking pitches is out to shallow center field. Tough play. Simmons running out there. Over the shoulder catch.
Look at this arm. Bam. Big arm go burr.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. I could not believe when Simmons, as a free agent, and it must have been, there was a little off-season issues that happened with him. It must have been some of that because he went for almost nothing to the Twins, and it took forever. And I mean, I'm sure in the advanced stage of defensive metrics coming out now, you know, people are really starting to see what a crazy player. I mean, look at that.
I'll tell you what, that might be one of the best double plays turn.
Well, I think at this point in his career, you just got to wonder how many more defensive seasons are left. You know, he's into his 30s. Defense,
I mean, even if you
young
start
man's
the
game.
Taylor off, he's still got to be better than the vast majority of players. You know, like I think the Angels picked up Iglesias, who I'm also really high on, so I like Iglesias a lot. But I think a lot of other teams would have gotten a big upgrade out of Simmons.
Uber Noob dropping in the chat that he's negative this year so far defensively.
Change. Look at the man go.
Unbelievable. That ball was like a
smoked it.
Like 20 feet away and a goalie making a save. Handles it. Simmons shows why.
That's not an easy play to make as a shortstop.
No. I mean, look at him, full extended. Perfect jump on that ball. Oh, that's him. Is this him in the outfield?
No. That's him doing a heads-up play there.
Oh!
So the throw is going to third.
I'm a little behind.
He rips and fires it to first.
Wow.
Another one deep hole. I feel like the plays in the hole to his right are really where he gets me to drop my jaw.
That from his knees.
Are you kidding me?
So we've got Yuka saying that defensive stats are a fraud right after she's talking about catcher ability.
I mean, to be fair, that is a defensive rating, right? So different, but...
Oh, I hear you. I'm just saying.
You have to wonder, though.
All right, give me 1 second here. I need to refresh this card so we can actually look at the ratings. I made Kidneys go disappear.
I'm gone now.
All right, and we're back.
Oh, I was going to take my nap now. Sorry.
So, Kidneys, this is the best card. This won the weakest link for Perfect Team in this weekend Perfect Team. Tell me why you have decided that he's our king tonight.
I mean, he's got 111 range. He also, unlike Bancroft, they actually have the same arm and turn double play, but he is rocking 30 more infield error. There is no question who our shortstop overlord is. People are telling me Bancroft's a better hitter. You can get out. The door is over there.
I mean, Bancroft really has not been hitting lately, and
It's
we
right
haven't
there.
even had a
See the
full
door?
week.
I don't know if they can see the door yet. Nope. Here, hold on. There's the door. See the door? You can leave. Bancroft, yeah, nothing. I mean, the card is 30 points error better with the same rest of the same defensive metrics, and Bancroft already slaughters people at short. So what this card is going to do to people defensively at shortstop is just absolutely crazy. I am so excited to see this card in play. I probably won't be able to afford one anytime soon, but as soon as I can, I'm going to pick up this card. I was so happy. This is my Mark Grace, right? This is Yuka's Mike Lowell for me. So It's so cool to get to see this card in the game, and get to see him really well represented, unlike maybe Mark Grace and Mike Lowell, who have nothing on King Simba.
Yeah, I get it. And as we're looking at this card, like, yes, there's going to come a day, and I think we're probably already living in a day where this bat is going to be bad. This bat is going to be driving very negative production. You're going to see some really gnarly triple slash lines, and it's not going to get any better as the cards improve over the course of the game cycle. But he's not there for his bat, and you're going to see a ton of people running him out there because he's going to help your pitchers. He's going to turn double plays that wouldn't otherwise be turned. He's going to make plays and turn base hits into outs and turn fielders' choices into double plays, and that's really the value that he's going to bring. So as we talk about certain positions on the field, we prioritize different attributes, and shortstop is definitely one that we prioritize the very best gloves you can get, only lightly contextualized with their bat production.
Two other points, really good point. Beckdog brings up that this card is a diamond, right? So in Perfect Draft, his point is you can draft this card in either of the diamond rounds. Mm-hmm. And then he plays in diamond tournaments. Yikes.
It also means that we're going to have a much higher supply. So we're going to see more Andrelton Simmons out there floating around than we will see Dickies.
Absolutely. We'll see a ton more of them, which is really cool because the more Simba, the better, in my opinion. Also means whenever the Diamond Master Series comes out, I would be shocked if we get a better Diamond shortstop this year. This card is crazy. So good luck, everybody.
Happy ripping. Good luck in your pack pulls. All right, guys, it's time to do a 10,000 perfect point giveaway. Thank you to Walnut in the chat for reminding me. I'm guessing I would have forgotten, but I didn't. I've already opened it up. All you need to do is type !ticket in the chat, and then you're entered. We've already got 39 of our friends in there, and now I see a ton more coming. So !ticket. We'll let that run for another minute here as we move on and view all the cards that we got tonight. And I've got the kidneys fave on Billy Spires here. I think it's because you called him Billy Spears. But we can mentally adjust that over to Andrelton Simmons here. So kidneys in general, I thought that this set was strong. And when you approach perfect team, especially high value defensive positions, and you give us a bunch of cards that are good at that position, that's a good bet for a fire content set. Obviously, the headlines tonight are Simmons and Dickey. But I think that, we found some other gems as well. Mookie Betts for the gold. I both liked Bassler, what he can do from a bat perspective at the catcher position, even though we had haters in the chat, as well as a number of other good picks here. The Keuchel card comes to mind. Really not a ton of duds tonight, which was great to see.
Yeah, this is an absolute killer of a content set. We got, I think, most cards here are going to say some play somewhere or another. I mean, if it's not in tournament or league, they'll see play in Perfect Draft probably too. So really strong set. Love seeing some early, really good defensive cards come out. We got some meta changers tonight, which is always really fun to see, especially the Kevin Youkilis right above me. So I'm really pumped up. I think there is a lot of cool stuff tonight, and I'll be excited to see the pack rips and how people go after stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's close down the giveaway and see who's our winner. Winning the giveaway, winning 10,000 perfect points tonight is EVC in NYC2. Congratulations to you. Please DM me on the Discord, and we'll have those perfect points in your account fresh and early tomorrow. And we made it. We made it all the way to the end there, kidneys. Couple reminders, couple things we want to say before we jet out tonight. So there will not be a This Weekend Perfect Team next week. There will not be a This Weekend Perfect Team the following week. But come June 10th, we will be right back here, same time, same place, and looking to play a little catch up. So we'll definitely get into whatever cards were that night, and we might pay some lip service to the cards that have come in our stead. What else? Yeah, if you're new to the stream, drop us a follow, hit the notification. If you liked what you saw and you want to support it, consider using your Amazon Prime account to get yourself a free subscription. If that's not an option, or if you really want to support us, you can just get a subscription of any kind. either level 1, level 2, or level 3. We certainly do appreciate the love. So as we look in the chat here, Walnut Kidneys, Death Deal, all of our subs tonight, we certainly do appreciate it. Robot Kidneys, what do you want to say before we get out of here tonight?
2 things. One you don't know about, one you do know about. We will be in DRC's Discord after stream, right as we wrap up here. And we'd love to see you guys there. Hang out, we talk. It's grown huge. There's so many people now. It's kind of crazy. But it's a lot of fun. We gotta, talk about the new cards, things that happened in the stream, and just hang out, talk baseball. So there's that. I will probably be streaming in some capacity next week to go over the new cards. I don't know if that will be like an official This Week in Perfect Team, or like a kidney show on my own channel. And yes, I will fix my internet. Last week DRC, this week. We need a real tech support guy, I guess. Now we're growing.
We need a production team.
Absolutely. I know a few guys. We can call them.
Hey, big thank you to EVC and NYC gifting out a sub to Tavo. They're in the chat. Really do appreciate it. All right, guys. So you heard it from Kidneys. Did you say both things? I know you said 2 things, guys, and then you talked about getting into the chat. Did I miss the second thing, or did you not say it?
Oh, did my mic just completely cut out? It might have. I talked about I will do some sort of a show going over cards, right?
Yep.
At some capacity. I don't know what that will look like yet.
Mysteries are more fun than knowing anyway.
I like a This Week in Perfect Team.
Big Red Fury's got it.
We're gonna do it on my channel, all right? That's what we're gonna do.
All right, guys. So we'll go ahead and sign off here. We'll see you in my Discord. Let me go ahead and link it for anyone who's looking to join. You can listen in, you can talk, you can do whatever you want. But we certainly do appreciate you guys watching. And can't wait to be right back with you guys on June 10th. See you later, guys.